Well, hello, and welcome back to 181 Days in Belgium. It's been a while, I know, about a year, but had some changes, had to get a little settled in, had to move, got a little more white in the beard, but happy to be back and want to do some more gear reviews. Picked up a bit of gear in the past year with some new climate and a bit of travel, so kind of wanted to give a heads up on some stuff that I think is cool again, back to what I used to be doing. Gonna give you some pros and cons, and I thought recently got a nice pair of pants that I thought this is something that I haven't seen anyone talk about, so I thought I'd maybe make a video about it. So before I jump into it, it's Eddie Bauer. I feel like Eddie Bauer has gone through a bit of a transitional phase. They were like really big in the 90s, and then they had maybe a couple decades of just weird cuts and stuff, really good trail gear, like effective, but just looked kind of weird. And it seems like recently they're really starting to get back into like having stuff that's cut a little bit better and more technical and really working for the trail as well and just for around town. So I keep finding myself buying stuff from them, which I guess is probably a good sign. So jumping into that, recently I got a pair of lined pants because it's a little cold where I am now and I like to be able to go out and not freeze and not just wear jeans. So I bought these. They're the Eddie Bauer First Ascent Guide Pro lined pants. So they're fleece lined. They're kind of like technical outside, so you're not going to scuff yourself up if you're crawling on rocks or you're hiking a little bit, or if you're just walking around the city, or in my case, going out in snow. I used these in the snow recently and they were really good. Wanted to give you some pros in these and a couple cons, but overall, I think they're great pants. So why don't we dive into the pros? All right, so the first pro that I think about these is they're warm, and they're not like overly warm like snow pants, like skiing pants, and they're not too cool that, you know, they're kind of like warm, but a breeze will go through them. These are windproof. Like I said, they're fleece lined, and I think they're kind of like the perfect temperature. Wearing these out, I think I was out in maybe 20 degrees the other day, Fahrenheit, and it was not at all bad. They're just warm enough that you keep warm, but I didn't overheat in these at all, which I think is a big plus because I feel like I overheat in snow pants a lot sometimes. I wore some actual skiing pants to shovel some snow the other day and I was sweating by the end of it, which is normal, but it's nice that these kind of breathe a little bit. And I like that. I think they're kind of like the perfect temperature. There's definitely been some thought put into how well these have been made. Go. The second thing I really like about these pants is that they have a little bit of stretch in them. Listen, I know it's fine to have pants that have no stretch, but let's be serious. You need a little stretch sometimes, especially when you're wearing winter gear and you might tuck something in. I tucked a shirt into these just so I didn't have any draft going on, and you never really know how many layers you might be having, but I think that the stretch in these is kind of perfect, and there's a little stretch in like all the material, a tiny bit, not enough that I think you'll ever get any sag, but it's just there's definitely a little bit of movement, which I like a lot. I think they're really good. They fit perfect. I got exactly the size that I normally wear, and I think it fits perfect on the waist without any stretching or without any kind of like gap. So yeah, I like that they move with you. They fit really well. I think the cut on them is really well as well. They're slimmer cut, but they're not like, you know, skinny pants. They'll still go over a boot. Still a pretty big leg, which I like a lot. You can see kind of the inside there. So yeah, I think that the movement of them is great. All right, pro number 3. So something I normally actually don't like about Eddie Bauer things is the zippers, because I feel like they're always upside down, and I feel like they just open up when I walk around, so I just don't often buy them for that reason. But on these, I think they're actually perfect. So the zippers are a nice angle here, and they're actually pointed downward, so they're not going to unzip while you're moving around. Pretty deep pocket, and I think that they're just, I think they're supposed to be weatherproof. Who knows if they actually are. But I didn't get wet in these when I was walking around in the snow, which was nice. But yeah, the zippers are kind of perfect. They stay out of the way a little bit. They don't hit you as you walk. I hate when they hit your hands when you're kind of walking if it's too far on the side. But they clearly put some thought into how these work, and I think that it's just nice. So, okay, the fourth thing I like about these is the stitching and the cutting of things. They definitely put some thought into how this is stitched. So you have these kind of like off-centered, like trapezoidal almost pockets with a seam that runs through them. They have some kind of heavy stitches on the pockets that I keep, actually when I look down, I always think I have something on me, like maybe a piece of stick or something, but it's just the stitching. And then I actually kind of sit and admire it for a second because I think it's actually nice. I think it looks very nice. They don't have like cargo pockets, they're internal pockets, so they don't stick out like you know, some of the Prana pants that have the weird pocket right on the side. And I say that having a pair of those. But I really like I just like the stitching on these. It feels high quality. And I like the kind of unusual touches that they put on it. I think it's just nice. They certainly paid attention to these. Finally, on pros, I really like the price point on these. I think these were $60 at the time of recording this in early 2025. And they're always on sale for something. You know, if they're 90 bucks, they'll be 60 bucks. If they're 60 bucks, they'll be 45. I think I got mine for 60, and I really like them. I think they're just a really good quality. You know, I have some of these hiking pants that I do different things with, but I've never had a good lined pair except for ski pants. So I'm really happy with these. I think that they're great. I think they're good quality. I'm happy to see Eddie Bauer kind of knocking it out of the park. So I'm excited to see what they come up with more of this first Ascent line. I like it a lot. Okay, so I gave Eddie Bauer some wins here, but I have always said that I feel like Eddie Bauer can't make a garment without making something a little annoying about it. And these do have one thing that I find a little bit annoying, and that's the Velcro on the back pockets. So Velcro, great if you're hiking, obviously. You want that. You don't want stuff falling out of your pockets. Even though if you had something smaller than a wallet, there's some gap between the Velcro, so it could fall out if you had, I don't know, a pencil in there. I don't know why you do a pencil in your back pocket. But the Velcro is so hard to open on these that I always feel like I'm going to tear the pants. And when I actually have these on, I have a really hard time getting it open from behind myself. And I keep my wallet in my back pocket. Please don't pickpocket me. But I think it's just hard to open. I don't love how hard that is to open. Again, if you're hiking, it's great. If you're just around town though, or you're in the snow, or if you keep your phone in your back pocket and you're trying to get your phone out occasionally, if your phone isn't tall enough to block that Velcro, you're going to be undoing that all the time. And I don't know, it's just a little bit annoying. It's a nice feature. I think, I don't know, a zipper would cost more money. So I'm sure that's why there's Velcro. And I'm sure, like I said, great when you're hiking, but maybe just less aggressive Velcro. All right, I have one more thing that kind of annoys me with these pants. And I've worn these out a whole bunch of times, and it really doesn't annoy me that much in practice, but it's just weird. So I think because this material is kind of heavy, and because these aren't heavy in the sense of thick fabric, they're not heavy to wear, but because it's a heavier fabric, and with the fleece on the inside, you know, it loses a little bit of like movement, I guess. I don't really know. I'm not a fashion designer. But when I have these on and I have boots on, there is a little bit of a draft that comes up the shin. So if you're wearing it like this and the boots here, a little bit of draft comes right up the front of the shin. And I usually wear high socks when I'm doing anything outside, but I don't wear ski socks, like the ones that go up to your knees. So if I'm wearing like a boot sock with boots and I have these over them, I can still feel a little bit of draft come right up and hit the top of my shin. And that's okay. Like, so I went on a bit of a hike with these on the other day without snow, and I felt fine. I wasn't cold at all. I did go on a hike with these in snow, and I did feel a little bit of coolness coming in. It's funny because I think if you put like a rubber band around the bottom of this or on your boot, you'd feel nothing. But one thing I have noticed is because you get a little bit of a draft in these, it kind of cools you down a little bit in a good way. It keeps you from, like I said earlier, overheating. So I don't know, maybe it's a give and take, but I don't love getting cold air on my shin when I'm walking around. It just feels weird, like it's distracting. But I don't think that would stop me from buying these again. I like it. Like I like these. I think that they're a good pair of pants. I think they look good. They fit well. And like that's, to me, overall, the most important thing. So yeah, I like them. I think as far as lined pants go, these are some of the best looking ones I've ever seen. So go pick them up before they're out of style or out of stock. I think they're really good. So yeah, the Eddie Bauer Guide Pro lined pant, first Ascent level or brand, whatever it is for them. So yeah, it's pretty good. I like them. There you go. Welcome back to the channel. See you in subsequent videos.